Hey, all you guys out there, you're wanting to know what to buy for a machine? Well, I'm going to give you a comparison of these two machines. Hey, it's Gail from Seattle Coffee Gear, and you'd be surprised how much these are similar and yet not similar. We have the DeLonghi Magnifica S right over here. It's a smaller platform, super automatic, and then we have the Barista Touch over here, which is a semi-automatic with some super automatic features. Let's talk about the DeLonghi first. Let's just go there. This is a machine that's called a super automatic because it grinds the beans for you right back here. It has a grinder adjustment. Not as much as some grinders, but it has a grinder adjustment. It has 4 pre-programmed dosing amounts from the factory, plus it has My Coffee, which is the only one that you can actually program for yourself. But the others are pre-programmed, and you can choose which one you want, just like that. The other thing you can do with this is, you see these beans here, and it reflects right up there. You can change the dosing of the grinder. So 1 bean, 2, 3, 4. The bigger the bean, the more it's going to dose down into the brew unit where all the action happens. Let me show you the brew unit on this. And this is the dregs box where all the used coffee, excess water go down into. Water tank right over here. It holds a lot of water. And then the brew unit, well, because this machine is on, we can't come out. On the DeLonghi machines, the machine has to be in the off position. But this is where all the action happens as far as the coffee goes down in there, it automatically tamps and then brews through it. Typically on a machine like this, you're going to be brewing through 10 to 12 grams of coffee. That's the max on it, down to about 7. The other thing that this machine has is what's called a steam arm, but it's a you can stay there. Panarello steam arm. So what that means is you don't have as much control when you're doing the steaming of the milk. It is going to suck the air in and incorporate it into the milk. And what you get is what you get. You can't, like I said, you can't control it. And it's usually quite a bit of foam. It's not bad, but you just don't have the control. Spouts up and down. Steam programming mode in there for that My Coffee. Let me get this. It'll only take me a second. I'll be right back. So that's the basics of a super automatic, and in particular the DeLonghi super automatic. As you can see, the footprint is similar. It's not going to be as wide as the Barista machine. The other thing that you can do with this machine is this has a hot plate up here to warm your cups. Also, right here is what's called a bypass doser. There's a scoop that comes with it. You can take a scoop of coffee and make a pre-ground and use it in this machine. The other thing with these machines, the downside is the Panarello, I would say, the foam isn't quite as good. And you can't use an oily bean in any super automatic. It will clog up that brew unit I showed you, plus the grinder. So the only way you could use something that's a little oilier is if it's pre-ground and put it up here, and it's still that 1 scoop. Now let's move over to the Barista Touch. Now this is a semi-automatic machine in that you have a portafilter with a metal basket, and it comes with 4 different baskets. It comes with a double and a single, non-pressurized, which is, you got to be more fussy about the grind of the coffee and get it right, just like a professional would. And then it comes with a double and a single pressurized. They're a little more forgiving. If the grind isn't right, you'll still get a halfway decent shot. This is more the traditional way of making a shot of espresso. This one in particular grinds the beans right up here. You can use an oily bean with this. It's not so sensitive to that because you can actually clean this grinder. You cannot clean these. So you push this in, it doses out whatever you've programmed it for, and you can program it. And as well, you can change the fineness setting right over here. You can adjust how the shot's coming out with quite a bit more control than you can on a super automatic. Once you've done that, and it comes with a tamper, you're gonna do the tamping, right? Like that. You're gonna do that. You're gonna engage it in. And now you're gonna go up to the touch screen. This is why this is called a touch. You can program each one of these drinks to be the proportions that suit your needs. So let's say, I can get into a shot, espresso shot, right there. I can control the grind, the size of the grind, how much comes out. Not the size is controlled over here of the particles. I can control how much goes down into the filter basket. I can then make it a double or a single. I can have how much hot water comes out. So on the milk, you can also change the temperature that you want, right here. Or that's the brewing, actually. The milk is over here. I can change the temperature all the way from 110 and go as high as 170. Beyond 170, it's going to scald the milk, so we don't recommend that you do that. Typical is around 150, 160 for most people. And then you can also, this is how much foam you're going to get. This actually incorporates more or less foam. It's set on number 1. You're going to get very little foam that way. If I take it up to 4, 5, 6, 7, right up in there, you're going to get a lot of foam. How this works is, you put milk in this, put it up under here, and then make sure that you set it down on this sensor right here. The sensor senses the temperature of the bottom of the carafe. And when it reaches that 150, it will cut off. The air is incorporated by the machine with a small pump, and that's controlled by these numbers up here like I was showing you a minute ago. So now, for that drink, you can actually change the icon, or you can put a name on it, whatever. And now when you get back into your menu, all of these drinks you can program, and you can actually, like I said, here's one named Vera. She's in there, so she's already programmed all those drinks for herself. So that's or that one drink, or you can program them all for you if that's what you want to do. You can have this machine just be for you. Wouldn't that be kind of cool, right? The other thing you can do with this machine, it does not have that bypass toaster like over here. The Breville machines have a lock on. I can take this out, I can change the beans, and I can put it back in again. And now I can change it to a decaf if I want to. Or you can use a pre-ground if you want to. You can do that too. So, water tank right back here for this machine. Big water tank. Stainless steel casing with some plastic. Drip tray. Automatic milk. So, and all these programmable options. And this machine is ready in 3 seconds. This has a really super fast, and this is ready in about 2 minutes. They're both pretty good that way. And you're going to do your foam the same way with a frothing pitcher over here. And you won't have as much control. This, you're going to have more control. So why would one person want one over the other? If you don't want to do any work whatsoever and you don't care about having control over the end result as much as you would with other machines, this machine would be fine for you. You wouldn't have to go any further. If you want more control, but you're not doing all the work, you're doing some of the work, because you do have the programmability up here. You don't have to stop and start it, it's going to do it. But you are going to do the grinding, and you're going to be able to choose the bean that you want, or at least not a factor. I would say if you want more control and you're willing to do some of the work, this is going to render a much better shot. The taste is just better. And it's not to put the DeLonghi down, it's just the nature of super automatics typically don't have as good a shot. You're brewing through 17 grams of coffee here versus that 10 to 12. So I would say that's the comparison of those two, and I kind of gave you a brief synopsis of why a person would want one over the other. If you have any more questions, of course, give us a call or comments down below, and we'll try to get back and answer your questions. And check us out on YouTube channel and check out the rest of our videos. We have a ton of them, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching.